Hello. I want to take a few minutes to talk about what is really real and why it might be helpful, important, beneficial to know what is really real, what is kind of sort of seemingly real, and what is not real at all. Because we operate day after day trying to make our way in the world and do so in such a way that we gain the most benefit from it. So if there's a challenge around our perception of what is real and what isn't real, it makes it all the more difficult. So that in and of itself is a good reason to try and understand what is really real. There are a lot of other reasons. And one way to sort of understand also why it's important is that when you look at the way in which you operate, it becomes evident when you are operating from a really real standpoint and when you are operating from some other standpoint. Anything else other than really real. To help understand this a little bit further, there's a little story example. And that is, a person is walking down a dark country road. It's late at night. The car broke down. They have no choice but to walk. They're out in the middle of nowhere. So they have to see if they can get help. Don't have cell phone coverage at that point. It's a country road, out of range. But in any case, so this person is on the road. And as they are walking, she or she is walking, this person sees a form up ahead. Scary looking form. Ominous, threatening, big form. And that stops this person dead in their tracks. What do I do about this? Afraid to turn back because this thing, creature, man, doesn't know, will come after me. Or do I proceed? Do I try to figure out a different way to go? So as the person is standing there, this person starts to think, if I move forward, I need some sort of weapon. Don't have a gun, just something. So the person grabs a stick and very cautiously starts moving, an inch at a time. And as the person keeps moving, they realize the thing has not moved. This person, beast, whatever it is, hasn't moved at all. So they get a little bit more courageous. And as they move forward, of course, they gain, less distance. There's less distance between the person and this form. And of course, what happens? They see, nothing but a big old dead tree with a few leaves hanging on it that make it look like it has some motion when the wind blows. So that's obviously what caused this person to think it was something other than a dead tree. So as that person recognizes, nothing to worry about, a big sigh of relief. Heart stops pounding, and they feel like they've just dodged a bullet and that they can move forward and move forward confidently. So, happy ending, of course. But what happened before the realization? This is what we take a look at in this example. And we discern that, hey, this person, through no fault of their own, tried to discern what it was and could not because the senses were not available. Sight, too far away. And the lighting was no good. And there were other factors that blocked this person's ability to see what was really there. As a result, the person had a misperception. again, as I said, through no fault of their own, because of extenuating circumstances. Yet, because of that misperception, and there followed by a superimposition, not knowing it for what it was, they perceived something else, something scary, which is what we all tend to do. We don't know, we make a, generally speaking, make a negative conclusion. It's the nature of us to do that. Partly defensive, survival and all that. Anyhow, so as this person recognizes what it is, all of that falls away. But until the person realizes that, what happens? A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that's uncomfortable, that is causing all kinds of, discomfort, reaction, all based on something that it wasn't even there, was never there. And yet, because of that misperception, followed by the superimposition, this person has reaction after reaction, all of which, upon realization of what it really was, seem ridiculous and have no basis. So this example helps us to understand what? This is what happens to us all the time, every day. If we don't see things the way they are, often through no fault of our own, but sometimes because we don't take the time to really look and try to understand or see, we then misperceive, then superimpose, and out of that we are reacting to something that has nothing, that is not there. No basis in fact. When you step away it looks pretty silly, but when you're in the thick of it, not so silly. Why? Because you're going through a lot of stuff, reactions, unnecessary aggravation, all because I didn't see it, didn't know it was this, reacted to it. And, what are you going to do? Well, this is the situation, as I said, for everyone, and yet there is something that you can do. There is something that you can do to stop yourself from investing, blood, sweat, and tears into something that just doesn't have any basis. And that comes when I understand, or if you understand, hey, what is really real, what is as though or seemingly real, and what is not real at all. If you can be discerning and objective and know the difference between all of these, then you save yourself a lot of wear and tear and your life is easier. And of course the most important thing out of all of this is if you know what is really real, the other thing, the ability then to stand free and clear of all of the stuff that doesn't require investment, involvement, reaction. You save yourself so much, and you gain a certain sense of security and well-being, because when you know what is really real, you know that that's always going to be there and in support. And if it's in support, it means then it, something's got you, someone's, whatever, has your back. And with that, you have this abiding sense of well-being, which is constant, present, because you have discerned and you know. And this is really what makes all the difference between a person who can see and move through life in such a way that they have the ability. People think that, well, okay, you're just going to get all these benefits from all of this. The beauty of it is because you don't call all the shots, you don't control everything in your life as much as you would like to, it gives you also the ability to move through good stuff, bad stuff, because both of them are present. That's better having that strength and sense, knowing that I am good to go, or that you are steady and abiding, no matter what kind of seas you are sailing through. This is the ultimate takeaway of understanding what is really real, what is seemingly real, kind of sort of real, and what is not really real. So I will be presenting more along these lines, explaining it. This was just a sort of an outline, brief description, but in detail, in classes, online classes that I will be giving through yogabodha.com, YOGABODHA.com. My name is Janani, and I look forward to seeing you there. Namaste.